Today on the Happy Clients podcast, we're going to talk about red flags in client communication. And we are going to go over how your team can be efficient and make sure that they are quick enough. So I'm excited to dive in.
Welcome to the Happy Clients podcast, brought to you by Dot & Company. Whether you're a virtual assistant, an agency owner, or a client-facing account manager, we all deal with clients. Lucky for you, client management is what we do best. Now, let's dig in, chat cam life, and have some fun along the way. Cheers to Happy Clients.
I think communication is the backbone of what we talk about here on the Happy Clients podcast. And across all of the agencies that we work inside, it's always the quickest thing that we look for when we're evaluating our team's performance or we're training our team, or it all comes down to how to properly communicate to clients. We want to talk about what are some of those red flags that you as an agency owner might want to look for inside of your agency and your team's performance to ensure that clients are sticking around, clients are happy, and that things are running smoothly.
I think a huge pain point that happens a lot in agencies is that the client communication can often get pushed down. Maybe you're looking for the right answer from an internal team member, or you need to think out the strategy a little bit further. But when you have so many balls in the air, it's really hard to shoot off that email and be really quick to make your client feel like they're heard, they're being supportive. And that's something we definitely hear a lot that we know agencies are struggling with.
And I think a big question is, are clients being responded to quick enough? Like you're saying, like across the board, how quick are you getting back to people? And how quickly are clients feeling like they're being heard? And you've probably heard us talk a little bit on this podcast about our method called the Daily Pulse. If you haven't, we're going to drop in a sneak peek to episode number 20 here. But we want to fill you in on our method to ensure that your clients are being responded to quick enough. So here is the Daily Pulse.
So the Daily Pulse doesn't have to be anything crazy. What I do is in my project management software, and what all of our client account managers do is for every single client project, we have a task called the Daily Pulse. And it's a recurring task that happens. It reminds you every single day. You have to check it off. Whether it's sending the client an invoice for the agency, or maybe it's, hey, we haven't quite got your ads up and running, but here's the next steps. We understand that we're waiting on this. This is the next step. Like, we just have to keep a pulse on the clients. It doesn't have to be this huge email. We just have to touch base with the client every day or every second day, depending on the relationship.
If you're feeling like your team is struggling to get back to clients in a timely manner, make sure you send them over to episode 20 of the Happy Clients podcast. We'll link it in the show notes. But get your team to really just understand what other client account managers are doing to ensure that clients are being responded to quick enough.
And I think even a helpful tool here is to even flip the script a little bit and think of yourself as the client who is spending thousands of dollars on ads and retainers, and you're really invested in your ad campaigns and your marketing. And if you think of the client like you want to make sure that you are not only being heard, but your ads are being worked on and monitored and optimizing and scaling. And there's so many layers that you can actually deliver to clients just to make them feel that you got their back. You know that their ads are important to them as well as important to you as a client account manager in your agency. And it's a two-way street. It is important. I will often do that. And it's important to just think of yourself as a client who is super invested and really wants to sort of be a part of the process. But we all know it can be dicey. So even these daily pulses or these quick touch points can be really essential to just keeping the client happy.
Yeah. So, in a nutshell, if your clients aren't being responded to quick enough, this is a red flag in the client communication process of your team. Send them over to our podcast to learn a little bit about how they can improve that piece of the puzzle. Next is projects aren't launching quick enough. So, again, the theme here is not quick enough. If your projects aren't launching quick enough, there's obviously a little bit of a hole going on inside of either your project management system or the execution behind it. Project management should not be the job of an agency owner. And we talk a little bit about this in episode 15. But this piece of the agency should be with your project manager or your client account manager.
It's so important to keep those tasks on time, right? Because it's funny when you do, to our earlier point, think like the client. They think they're the only client and that this project can just be launched within days. But we all know that sometimes it takes weeks. So even setting those timelines upfront with the client and then actually delivering on them is just like the recipe for success, right? When projects are being launched quickly, the client is often really happy. They are excited to see some progress. They know that you're working on their ads and super in tune to their accounts. When it is being launched in a timely manner and those expectations are being met, if not met prior, then it works so well, not only on the client side of things, but for the internal agency and keeping them in a really great place with the client.
Exactly. And again, we encourage your team to head over to episode 15 of the Happy Clients podcast to learn a little bit more about the project management role inside of an agency and where there might be a gap inside of your current agency and where we could help you improve.
Taylor, you're the queen of project management. You've taught me everything I know, why project management is so important and how to really streamline those systems. So tell me, why is it so important in the agency world?
I think the biggest thing when we speak to agency owners, one of their main pain points is they're worried things are falling through the cracks, whether it's client communication, whether it's projects, getting ads live, getting landing pages finalized, getting things approved. There's always things that are falling through the cracks. By having someone in charge of project management, they are executing and making sure that nothing is being missed. They're making sure that the media buyers are getting done what they need to get done, boxes are being checked, things are just getting done. And from the CEO or the agency owner's point of view, they want to know high level that everything is moving forward and things are getting done.
Yeah, it takes a village. Don't they say that? When projects are really detailed and really precise, it needs special attention to keep all those tasks on task, for lack of a better word, but definitely on time and moving along quickly. And that does not need to be the job of the agency owner and something that client account managers can certainly adapt to.
A lot of times, agency owners will reach out to us and they already have a team of CAMs inside of their business or project managers. And they want to know, okay, maybe my team isn't getting back to clients quick enough. And I just don't know how to mentor them to get to the point where they know how quickly they need to get back to clients or they know what the baseline is and what my expectations are. So if that is you, definitely reach out. We have training programs, we have CAM school, we have one-on-one training that we can help your team to up level their productivity to improve their client management inside of your agency, which will in turn keep your clients around longer, get projects launched quicker, and just create way better environment for everyone, internal and external.
And then the secret weapon to all that is building it out in an SOP, keeping it detailed, keeping it documented. So every project, every launch is a success. And that's something that client account managers thrive in as well, creating these processes, keeping things on track, making sure clients are being responded to quick enough, and an overall happiness of the client and the agency.
So, in a nutshell, client management is basically just client communication and being on top of that, ensuring that your team is getting back to clients, making them feel loved. So, if you resonated with this podcast, make sure you subscribe so that you get access to all of our podcasts. And of course, head over to our website, dotandcompany.co or thecamschool.com to learn more. Thank you for listening in to another episode of the Happy Clients podcast.
Cheers to happy clients.